There's this guy named
Froth.
Do you see that?
Ripe,
the douchebag guy,
the drink
that does the clipping.
every morning.
He clipped from the what is it, the Sardonicast or whatever?
I heard I think it was Chris Reagan brought up this awesome point on this note where he was talking about Seinfeld, how it was mandated that the Julia Louis Dreyfuss character needed to be added because the cast wasn't diverse enough.
Mm-hmm.
But in adding her, they almost objectively made the show better. She's the best one of the four. She's the funniest of the four, maybe arguably against George.
Mm-hmm.
But that made the show better. And if it was made better because of wokeness, does that mean? What does that mean? It just means it's pointless.
Well, exactly, right? Like, so the inverse would be if her character sucked, then it would be like if, let's say, we had the exact same media echo chamber infrastructure audience capture thing going on during Seinfeld being a new show, then that would be like an example of, oh, woke killed this. Or it's like, no, it's the insincerity that killed it.
Oh yeah. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was they brought me up. I don't remember if they brought
you up.
Or was it the I don't remember if I had that conversation on the Snark Tank or not. Let's imagine the writers' room for the Justice League.
Sure.
Where they were like, all right, let's just make the Justice League as it is in our heads, right? It'll probably be just like it'll be a team of white people, right? Usually. I would imagine at that time, especially. Yeah. Somebody comes in, it's like, we should probably make one of these like different. And then somebody's be like, oh yeah, all right. That's different than being like, I want to make a show about country life in Maine or whatever, right? Where it's like specifically about this specific family or whatever, right?
Oh yes, but
there's a difference there.
But that's kind of
because it's not like I need it to be white. It was just like white as a default, and then like there was a suggestion there to be like, oh, the same thing happened with Seinfeld actually, because they needed like they were like, this show is like really only appealing to like very specific section of the audience. You got to get a woman in here. And they were like, yeah, that's actually a good idea. Yeah, we hadn't thought about that. But there's a difference between that and I think like the idea of how it is being talked about, where it's like people are forcing the shit at specifically the opposing wishes of the people who created it.
I agree with you.
Like, I don't think there's like this staunch idea where it's like, we can't have a black person here. I know I had it on Sacred, but
they didn't bring you up per se, but you were mentioned in the tweet.
Well, no, you were specifically mentioned by IHE.
In the audio file?
Yeah, IHE was like, oh, there's this brilliant thing. I think he used the word brilliant, which I'm like, calm down, dude.
Yeah.
But I was like, but he said,
he said I made an awesome point.
Yeah, he made a good point
about Julia about the Julia Louis Dreyfuss. Yeah, Julia Louis Dreyfuss, Elaine's character in Seinfeld, being a network note that was mandated for diversity, and that ended up making the show better. So like, what does that mean?
Yeah,
it means
there's so many examples of that. So it's kind of like, it was just good to point that shit out.
Yeah, that was cool. I always forget that, like, oh yeah, other people watch us.
Sometimes it makes me take a step back and I'm like, oh, maybe we should make this better.
Yeah, kind of. I felt the same way. I was like,
we should watch the shit we say sometime. Maybe we should be a little more respectable. Then I'm like,
I felt the same way. I was like, oh, I respect those guys. Yeah. So like, you shouldn't waste their time.
It's insane because like, I don't know, man. It's just unfortunate. Like, I feel like a lot of people do agree with you. Fucking bitch.